Hi everyone, welcome to Eminent Personality Webinars. It's managed by TechnoBiz. Thank you all for joining today. This Eminent Personality Webinar, it's all about the professional journey of the eminent persons, and basically the people are well respected, well experienced, with huge and long experience in specific areas of their expertise. So this is very important for TechnoBiz because we are having learning from the journeys of the professionals with a long experience. In this Eminent Personality webinars, what we are focusing on the rubber industry professionals. We call it in conversation with eminent rubber industry professionals. Okay, just a second, please. So far, we have invited many of the, actually we have invited so many eminent rubber industry professionals. We have done already 4 eminent speakers, eminent professionals, rubber industry professionals as guests. They shared their journey. And here is a list of the people, and the people who have invited. And but it's not the end, but we were inviting more and more. All our grandparents, grandfathers, or or you call us a grandparents. So in the future, the ladies also there. So grandparents of the rubber industry, we learn from their experiences. Okay? So each of them have 45 to 65 plus years experience in the rubber industry. I would like to have special thanks to convey my special thanks to Dr. Samar Bandyopadhyay. Actually, we doing together, myself as a parent and Dr. Samar, we are inviting well-respected and experienced people. And special thanks to Dr. Samar. Also, many other rubber industry friends were suggesting we should invite in this person and that person. So we may not know everyone personally, but because of this technology, what we are in COVID, we are able to meet people that we never met in person as well. So I want to thank all our friends, well-wishers, and supporters. And also special thanks to our network, Rubber Technologist Global Network, managed by TechnoBiz, and also the magazine Rubber and Tire Digest magazine. And also convey my special thanks to the Society for Industrial Chemistry, who is supporting this event. And as you know, they are the Society for the Technologists and Scientists who focus on the chemistry. I encourage you, if you are a chemist or scientist, I encourage you to be the member of this society, which is active in India. Okay. And this is our website, industrialchem.org. All these eminent personality webinars, actually it's available in record format. Those are watching now live. Okay, they also can watch in the record format later on, next day only. We're publishing this every eminent personality webinar in TechnoBiz channel, so in the YouTube. Okay. Today, our guest is Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. Well, he's 72 plus years old, well experienced, well respected in industry from India. He has more than 48 years of experience. Okay, and the 48 years of experience in rubber industry. And he was in many rubber products. He worked in many rubber products, from the conveyor belt, footwear, the industrial rollers, and in many types of materials. I can say Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh is, you can take your brain and so much experience, so much knowledge there. I'm very much glad, and the TechnoBiz is honored to have him as a part of this eminent rubber industry professional program under the Eminent Personality webinars. Thank you, Mr. Ghosh, to joining this program today. Agenda will be like this. The first, I give the welcome remarks like this, and presentation on the TechnoBiz activities. I do quick presentation on the TechnoBiz. Then I invite Mr. Ghosh to give express his journey. What are achievements? What are the lessons he learned? Good lessons, bad lessons. See, it's 48 years experience. I want him to concise in such a way for the audience or young people particularly, learn from his experiences, and take it in a positive way. This we should not do, this we should do, those things. So he will do afterwards. And then we invite his colleagues to talk about their association with him. Okay, and then we open for a Q&A session, and Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh will answer some of the questions on the technical questions from the audience which we receive. This is the agenda. Okay. So let me quickly introduce about TechnoBiz presentation, which take a couple of minutes, probably around 7 minutes. Okay, and then I will, after that, I invite Mr. Ghosh to make a presentation. Okay, just a minute. Let me open my screen. I guess everybody's seeing my screen. This presentation, it will be very fast, but you can download this whole much more detailed presentation in the handout box. You can check it out. You can download in PDF file. Okay. So welcome to TechnoBiz. It's established in 2005. We recognize as International Resource Center for Industries and Technologies. I welcome to show you the journey of TechnoBiz, and I welcome you all to join this journey. We have a variety of services, trade exhibitions, training, conferences, webinars, business networks, publications, talent search, knowledge test, consulting, business matchmaking. It combination of education, business, and networking. And we cover mainly on the polymer industry is one of the main segment, rubber, plastics, polyurethane, adhesives, coatings. We also on the process technology, we talk about chemical engineering, energy environment, water and membranes, filtration, separation, things like that. So it's a broad but combination of education, business, and networking. I talk about the services related to rubber, latex, and tire industries. Okay, we provide global services. We're not in India or anything. It's a global service. Okay. We offer exhibitions, which we have exhibition on GRTE, which happens in Thailand. We also have an exhibition, Arab Rubber Expo, and also Africa Rubber Expo. Okay, so we have regional exhibitions focused on the rubber industry. Due to the COVID, we have started the webinars, and these webinars, I explained to you more onto the online activities today only mainly, because that's what we are doing right now. Know-how webinar is a purely educational platform. Research webinar is focusing on the research. Technology webinar is focusing on the technology, commercial technologies. Eminent webinar, Eminent personal webinar like today, what we're doing is focusing on the senior, well-experienced people share their journey. So we have 4 types of webinars. You can check these websites, useful to you. Some of the topics are relevant to you. Just me give you a quick introduction to the know-how webinars. As I say, it's an online platform for professional education. Again, all the subjects, whatever do we do business, all the same subjects, same focus is there. We have a short webinars, we have a master class, we have a virtual forum, we also have Q&A sessions, knowledge test. And topics are focused, addressing real issues, and all our experts are well experienced and knowledgeable. These topics are available in a schedule as well as on demand. Okay, and our buffet programs and weekend education options are there. We have memberships, professional member, corporate member, education institute member, premium member, and also premium corporate members. So there are various types of memberships also there. So I give you a quick, we call it a rubber technology online training. And currently we have 150 training topics focusing on the rubber technology with 30+ global experts. And these are suitable for all professionals, whether you are a young person, you're a fresher in the industry, or well-experienced person. Okay, so these are experts which we work with. You can check the details of what topics are there in the handout file, but I'm not going to show topics number. I only show what kind of experts we have. Is Dr. Robert Suster and Dr. Gerard Neumann from Netherlands and Germany, and also Terry Chapin is from USA, focused on rubber molding. Mr. R. Lakshmi Narayanan is specialized on mixing and oil sales. And Dr. Samar Vandevar is on material and also compounding. David Hill on the latex. Dr. P. Thamamini is also on molded parts and conveyor belts and transmission belts. And Van Dalworth is on the rubber molding. Professor Kinsuk is from the TPE Rubber Compound Organization. Dr. C.C. Ho on the latex. Bruno Melanis is specialized on the rubber mixing plant design. Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh, we are having guests. He's on the conveyor belt, footwear, and rubber compounding. Dr. Eminent is a rubber mixing. Dr. Hans Joachim Graf is compounding, extrusion, injection molding. Palinathan is specialized on the rubber molding, compounding, and molded rubber parts and rubber to metal bonded components. Stephen Chong is a latex foam. Dr. Samir Majumdar, I miss him. He no more, but he contributed a couple of webinars for us, and Dr. Dario Nicetti is on the rubber textile coating calendaring. Karthik Srinivas on the testing and material characterization. Dr. Raj Ganesh, rubber rheology and characterization. And Kalyan Das is on the rubber reclaim and also on the rubber technology and tire technology. Henry Burkin is rheology and characterization. Dr. Aparna Joshi is on the composites, curing and molding. Anis Karia is on the latex. Okay. And Dr. Brennan Rogers is on the rubber compounding tire technology. UK Prasad is focusing on hose manufacturing technology. Mr. P. Roy Chowdhury in extrusion and also reverse engineering. So, Dr. Joseph Masinko, polymer chemistry and polymer characterization. And Mr. Sanathan Kundu is on the retreading, compounding, and tire textiles. Eric Jordan is on the EPDM, TPE. And Mr. Narpati Dhaw is on the tire cords and adhesion. So, you see that all these people are well experienced with everybody. If you might multiply 30 plus into an average 35 years, so 1,000 years of experience in this know-how webinars. Okay? Anybody interested to make a presentation for know-how webinar, if you're an expert, you have an experience, and you can always welcome you to be part of the team of experts to present know-how webinars. Additionally, in the research webinars is basically promoting the research, which is what is happening at universities, and we cooperate with the researchers and universities to promote their research work. These are some of the topics available, and we can check our website for more information on it. These are the researchers. I'm thankful for these researchers to contribute. They have from India, Thailand, and Pakistan, various countries, and also Italy as well. Okay. We are doing a Sri Lanka Polymer Research Forum focusing on the Sri Lankan polymer research. Okay, and which is scheduled in November. We postponed from October to November. And also Pakistan Polymer Research Forum we have in October. And we invited various university professors to make a presentation on the research developments in Pakistan. We are working with the Calcutta University Polymer Research Forum, which is scheduled on the 27th November. And there is also a schedule, and we have a couple of speakers already. So we work with universities to promote their research. We are also doing another one is researcher spotlight. See, it's important that research work to be promoted, at the same time research to be promoted, because we need to know what their competencies are, what kind of research they are doing. So we are doing a program on the 15th December, which is called the Researcher Spotlight, with focus on the Professor Kinsuk Naskar Rubber Research Group. All his team get introduced, what they're doing. It's kind of interview style, but it's useful for the people to understand what kind of research is going on in the IIT Kharagpur at the Rubber Technology Center. We have a technology webinars. Basically, we promote rubber technologies from the commercial scale. So we have this called Rubber and Tire Tech Forum, and which is basically promoting the commercial technologies. But we focus on various regions: India Rubber and Tire Tech Forum, Middle East Rubber Tech Forum, Africa. So we focus on the region. So people in that country, that region, can join these programs. And you can see the schedules. We plan to organize, multiple times a year. Okay, so for India 3 times per year, in Africa 2 times per year, Middle East 2 times per year, and Southeast Asia 2 times per year. So it's an event that you can update on latest technologies from the commercial side. This is just a glimpse of the India Rubber and Tire Tech Forum, which is scheduled in December. Okay, this was companies. See, all the presenters are sponsored presenters, so they had to pay to make a presentation. Basically, they introducing the technologies. These are the speakers who will be contributing this program. So I welcome you all for this event on the India Rubber and Tire Tech Forum. Eminent Personality Webinar. We just started this recently, only a couple of months ago, and it's interesting because we see we need to pay respects and we need to remember those senior people. What we are enjoying today because of those people hard work. I think everybody has to agree on that. So we want to know their journey, how they started, how their 50, 30, 40, 50 years experience, what kind of lessons they learned. That is good for us as young people to move forward. Okay? So we work on the rubber industry. So we have invited all these the eminent rubber industry professionals. We are in every 2 weeks, one time we are doing this session. So having here like Mr. Ghosh today here, but there will be others who will be coming soon. Okay, so please watch, this program on regular basis. Not only to you learn, but you see the journey. It's like inspiration for all of us, particularly young people, and what you can do in the rubber industry. And so we have a TechnoBiz knowledge test, which is focusing on the assessment skills, and we have multiple choice and things. So we have assessment test also. We have books. These are all the books we published by TechnoBiz. And, we have patents from the USA also, and we have this and more books. If you're interested, we can purchase them. These are, I'm thankful to Dr. Samir Majumdar, who converted his pocket books. When I suggest him that, why don't you make a pocket book? So he gave me lots of topics, around 30 some topics, and we put together as a pocket books. See this website, store.technobiz.org. You can check this website, and you can, purchase. Interested to purchase, you can do so. We have a magazine, Rubber and Tire Digest magazine, which is a joint publication every 2 months, once in every 2 months. It's a digital edition now. Currently, we have 6,000 plus global readers. We work with the Rubber World magazine together. I encourage all of you to subscribe it, because good technical magazine, a lot of good articles there, rubbertiredigest.com. Please do so. If you are interested to read, understand, update latest information, this is one source. There are many others, but I'm suggesting this is what we do. So we encourage you to be to register this one. I think many of you are subscribed or maybe members from my Facebook group, Rubber Technologist Global Network. If you're not a member of it, I encourage you. If you have a Facebook account, I encourage you to be the part of my Facebook group. It's basically Rubber Technologist family. Currently, we have 3,600 plus members from 80 different countries. We update the technologies, we update the new events, research development, stuff like that. Okay. We have Polymer research work, which is basically focused on researchers. If you're a researcher, you can join us our group. You want to promote your publications, or you want to share your knowledge through our platform. We have the Rubber Industry Business Network, which is basically to promoting the marketing and business support for the industries. We are working on about to announce the user machinery Rubber and Tire Digest virtual sales meet, which is we'll be announcing very soon the schedule. If you have a machine, you want to get rid of it, this is a place to join. We do the business and technical consulting, and I just started. If you are see, the branding is very important. Just like I try to brand TechnoBiz, people know TechnoBiz more than they know me, actually, because a lot of people don't know who am I. Of course, I'm behind TechnoBiz, but the company name, company products are very, very important. So we were actually planning to work on the SME. Big companies, they know how to brand themselves because they have teams and marketing, communication resources are there. For SMEs, we plan to do this one, SME Rubber Industry Branding Project. For anybody interested, you can come. There will be subscription base. We make it an affordable arrangement, but at the same time, you benefit a lot out of this one. Okay. These are the consulting services we offer. Okay. Talent search, which is basically if you are looking for people, want to hire the people, so you can contact us. We can help you to get the right person for the job. It's basically right person for the right job. Okay, so TechnoBiz channel, I think we have YouTube channel. Many of the things we post in our YouTube channel, which is if anyone interested, please do follow this TechnoBiz channel. Yeah. Okay, that's briefly, that's me, Priyabrata Ghosh. I'm the founder and the CEO of the TechnoBiz, and this is my contact information. Okay, then look different. That was a couple of years ago. Okay, so, and I would try to say our company is independent private organization and aim to serve the global rubber industry as best as possible with the available resources by doing partnerships and friendships. Okay. Door is open to all interested professionals to be part of TechnoBiz journey. So if you have some idea, if you need some help or assistance, one email or one WhatsApp message, I'll respond to you as quickly as possible. Okay. Before I end my presentation, I do request all of us, you and me, myself as well, please plant more trees. I don't want to talk about parks, things, but what you do is just look around you, your home and your workplace. These are the two places which we really spend the time. Make it green. And I think we don't need to worry about things we cannot control. But I think this home and workplace we can control, we can do manage. So if it is possible, if you have a space, please plant more trees at your home and at your workplace. Okay? Thank you all, and I welcome you all to join the journey of the TechnoBiz. Okay, that's briefly about it. Okay, let's get to today's main topic. Okay, because what we are here for. We are here for the Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. He is, as I mentioned, he's 72 years old, rubber industry professional, and with 48 plus years experience. He's still working, very active, much more active than me. Okay, and very energetic. Okay, and it's really nice to have you, sir, Mr. Ghosh. So basically, I request you to talk about your beginnings, career, and then you go into the your professional journey or experiences and things like that. Okay, please share. Let's get started, sir. Welcome you to the program.
Oh, thank you, Bram. Thank you, TechnoBiz, to give me an opportunity to share my experience, my journey of my, throughout my career. Giving me opportunity to the audience, my colleagues, to share them. And to everybody, it is very good afternoon and have a good day. So, Param requested me to talk something about my background, my experience, my journey throughout my career. Like that, to start with my education, I did my graduate chemistry from Calcutta University. But unfortunately, my tenure of the graduation was not, very enjoyable, because there was tremendous problem, political problem that time, starting from 1968. So our locality in the northern fringe of the Calcutta city was targeted by Naxals. So we are all in panic, and all this. That's the period I can't forget. So anyway, after giving the final exam, then and then I had to flee from Calcutta to my uncle's home at Delhi. So in Delhi, so after a month or so, I got an advertisement in the Hindustan Times that time, that JK Synthetics Limited, for their new project, wanted some fresh graduates to be recruited as supervisor, like that. So I applied for that. I was called for interview. I was selected. So I joined JK at the end 1970. 1970, I joined as a supervisor in their new plant. JK Synthetics is one of the biggest plants that time in India, working thousands of workers. So they used to make nylon chips, staple and fiber. So their new project was the polyester. Some German people were erecting the plant. So I was deputed to the gang of German people, the communicator or interpreter rather. So I was fortunate to work with them. They never treated me like their subordinates. So to start my career such a big company, so I was really satisfied. So over there, that project they are making polyester from DMT, dimethyl terephthalate, and your ethylene glycol, that is polycondensation, all of you know that. So first we make chips, then melt it, and extrude it to yarns and fiber. So ultimately we are making a staple and toes of polyester. The company name was JK Staple and Toes. So I had the opportunity to work under the German engineer. There are a gang of 6-7 German engineers like that. So they are really friendly, really friendly. So I remember in hot summer season, the temperature in Kota, that is in Kota, Rajasthan. Okay, so hot temperature is 35 degrees was very nominal in summer. So they used to work from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the night. So I was also accompanied them. I had to work like that. So they are actually erecting the reactors, pipelines, the ethylene glycol recovery plant, all these. So they were for pretty long. I was associated with them. So I had learned a lot of things, especially in the mechanical side. Erection and all these reactor, the pipelines, the heating unit, even the boiler. So anyway, so then they said, why don't you go for higher study? Why did you stop? So I narrated the whole story and all this. So then they gave me ideas so to go for some technology, polymer technology, because I was working on a polymer plant. So polymer, with polymer rubber, they found a lot of rubber parts inside that plant, the hose, a gasket, and 1,000 pieces of gasket used to be fixed in the pipelines, and all these are the tire of these cars, and everything is made of rubber. So then I heard the word rubber. In graduation level, we just heard the polymer and all these techniques, no special care of a particular polymer anyway. So where to study? So then I asked him. So one of them said that my cousin, he did this rubber technology from National College of Rubber Technology, London. So you can apply that. Then the group left after erecting, after commissioning production, trial production, bulk production, everything. So then I applied. There was a huge time for communication. Just by year later, I filled in what I am. Uh, I want to study rubber technology. So they granted me. They said, okay, you are entitled to enroll yourself. So and so. So early 1974, I left for London to join that course. And I had enough time, 4 5 months time for the commencement of the course. So what I did, I got some addresses from their office, NCRT, National College of Rubber Technology office. So they said you can work there as a part time, as on student category, even in the rubber industry. These are the few addresses in rubber industry. That was not in London. That is one place called Slough in Buckinghamshire. So I approached some rubber industry. Fortunately, in one industry that is called Runnymede Rubber Company Limited. So the chief chemist was in India. So he said, okay, I am also a student from that. I did my NCRT from that. And incidentally, he was a Bengali person. So he liked me. He said, you can do job as a temporary job and all this. So first time I entered the rubber industry. Before I started my career, I mean study in rubber technology. So their business was to make compounds for and supply to different industry like tire, conveyor belt, lining, this sort of industry. They used to make compound, lot of compound. They had 4 bandwidths. So what I had to do, I had to take the test slabs, test button, test it for rheometric test, Muni viscosity, that your hardness, tensile strength. So, and it was very good to start my education at NCRT. So when the courses, and not only that, I earned my own money because I did not take a single penny from anybody else, even from my parents. So I saved some reasonable amount of money, because quite high value of money, because I did not have to pay tax as I am a student. So there was a tax reduction of 1/3 of your salary straight away. So in that way, I deposited my fees, tuition fees at the college. So but rented, first I was in Indian student hostel at Russell Street. Then I shifted to some private apartment. Anyway, I started with LNCRT and I became the member, automatic member of PRI. That time it was the Plastics and Rubber Institute. So I went to their headquarters at Hobart Place and got myself enrolled at the time of admission. So that was the story in 1974. So after I did, then I did my postgraduate ANCRT, bit tough one. So then I did my APRI, that is the grad PRI. That's a subsequent exam, you know, and I found that I had to study very hard in the NCRT and grad PRI exam. Anyway, I scored well and passed. Then again, in the summer, in your Christmas vacation, after each exam, there was a long gap. I used to work in the industry. I worked again. I went back to Runnymede, and then I switched over to another rubber industry. It's a very big multinational that is Vegetable Aviation product. They used to make rubber products. Apart from the rubber product, they used to make so many other products also. So the technical manager I met, he gave me a okay, you have applied for that NCRT, very good, and you can go for to work for a project for about 4 months. The project was very confidential, but the project was regarding heat insulation properties or behavior rather of different kind of rubber solution onto the glass fiber fabric. So, like Python, silicon, and all. So I did that project. Then it was my contemplation to come back to India and serve my motherland. Anyway, maybe wrong, maybe right, I don't know. So perhaps a little bit I was repenting, some years back. Anyway, what has happened, happened. So I came back. Because after doing ANCRT, there are a lot of, in England, there are a lot of opportunity to get good job. Even in Dunlop, in Westerville, they thought if you want to get a job over here after passing ANCRT, come down and meet me. But that time I already booked my air ticket and tickets, so I came back. I came back and joined as a rubber technologist in the R&D department of Dunlop India at Saharanj, West Bengal. So I continued there for about more than 4.5 years. So my job over there, that I confess that I want this sort of job of rubber compounding, development, troubleshooting, all related to compounds. I saw, started my compounding knowledge and all this way back in while I started working as a student in Runnymede Rubber Company. They used to make so many formulations, so many mixes. So I came to know that this sort of things are up to this dose is applied for this purpose and this. So I was really interested in compounding. Then in R&D, my boss told me that you can really good take up this thing for TAD. Especially we want to exploit in industrial rubber product compounding like conveyor belt, transmission belt, hoses, metallastic, e-belt, even aero tire retreading. Even I had to work in the adhesives. So multiple products they were making in under one roof in one factory. That is in Sal and Dunlop. So adhesives were very famous. Dunlop adhesive, neoprene based adhesive, natural rubber based, all rubber based adhesive. So I worked on that, but I felt little bit monotonous. So I wanted, because I was very ambitious, I wanted much more exposure to other products, much more responsibility also to look after the administrative job and like if I look after the whole plant, including engineering, maintenance. So I was looking for a change. If I get that sort of job, I may switch over. Then I saw an advertisement that Sri Krishna Rubber Works Limited, pretty old factory in Calcutta, that was taken over by IRCI. IRCI that time was taking over the SIG companies for restructuring. So IRCI full form is Industrial Reconstruction Corporation of India. That is a attached with the Commerce Ministry of Central Government. So they called me for interview. Their headquarters was in Fairley Place near Dalhousie. So they selected me. And the chairman, I still remember his name, Mr. Dixit. So Mr. Dixit showed me the blueprint, what is the objective and all this. So I agreed to that. So I left Dunlop and joined early no, end of 1982, I say, 1982. So I worked hard, really hard, because technical side is my, paramount choice. I mean, technical side I cannot leave her. So I have to look all the development and technical side, troubleshooting, expansion, production, and here I started my administrative job. Because at that time, four unions are there. There are 380 people who are working and some 80 to 100 people on contract labor. So every day I used to sit with them, some meeting. If they demand a meeting or place a charter of demand, you can't avoid it. It will be crowd. So I have to attend some meetings. So 1 or 2 hours, 3 hours, have to spend on meeting. That is keeping aside administrative job. So I had to do that, being the unit head. I joined there as a workshop. Yeah. So as for the plant machinery over there, it was good. It was an imported machine from England, Japan. So there they are making some good amount of Indian railway items, like buffer spring, like hole. At that time, vacuum brake hose used to be installed in every coach and wagons, that is corrugated hose, and sizes right from VV 503, 504, 507 up to 510. So thousands of hoses were made, and metallastic, buffer spring, raffia pad, so many items used to be made. Calendar sheet, lot of calendar sheet, insertion sheets they used to make there, and one unique thing that I experienced first time, that rubber line. So rubber lining was a pioneer job on site and at factory. So they started rubber lining. Hindustan Heavy Chemicals, that is a Birla unit, used to make a lot of acids. That was very nearby, only 2-3 kilometers from the factory. So they used to get rubber lining for the transportation, container and tankers at inside the plant. So rubber lining, and I expanded it to NTPC, because that Polymer project or huge power project was coming out at that time. NTPC, then they just started, but I can't remember, the government of West Bengal, Tadip, near Tadip, they have started there. So even I went to attend meeting in their NTPC headquarters regarding rubber lining specification, all these. Some technical manager, Mr. P.K. Banerjee, at that time was in NTPC. He was looking after the rubber lining and all rubber items used in NTPC project. So fixed up some specification. Initially, they wanted very high tensile strength. So I explained, you really don't require high tensile strength in rubber lining whatsoever. So all you have to see the application, the chemical resistance, durability, all this. So they agreed, and they cut on the tensile strength. So in that 5-6 outlets I created. So at one time we had some 3-4 sites of rubber lining going on simultaneously. So I had to visit from time to time there, and so I was fortunate to work under my executive director. He is a famous person. He is a very high caliber cricketer and the best commentator in English for cricketer. I confess the name. His name is Mr. Premangshu Chatterjee. So Premangshu Chatterjee is a cricketer and very good administrator. He is a master of personal management. He also worked in Dunlop India. So he was a nice boss to be. So we together have put a lot of efforts to revive that company. In fact, what he did, Mr. Chatterjee asked me to draw some, productivity linked incentive to increase the productivity. So productivity is not only to augmentation in production, but also in a low rejection, quality, less overhead, and all this. The package I have prepared worked very hard for 3 4 months. Then I submitted that. So incentive scheme started. Production increases, and we started making profit. That time we made a profit 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs rupees in a month, where it was under loss of 15 to 25 lakhs a month. So it was good, but unfortunately something happened, which I don't think on this platform I should talk about. So regarding development of things, I developed their battery container, big battery container from your 800H, 1200H, 1500H, up to 200,000H, and we used to supply it to Excite. So I used to visit Excite R&D department on VIP Road. I know that time some Suhas Chaudhary used to be the technical manager R&D. So any problem he used to call me, because my first priority was to work on technical side, and of course in the administrative side I spent a lot of time, and I was experienced because I did not study any administrative things. By experience, I learned a lot of things about administration. I attended a lot of meeting in labor commissioner with the unions and all this, and I argued in front of labor commissioner and all this. So that was my additional experience in administrative job. So battery container I used to supply to Excite. Then I developed rice de-husking roller. Rice de-husking roller, very typical, the marketing. So it is not like that you sell it, take the money, and you are happy. No, not like that. Rice roller, they see the performance. So they will see 10 tons or 15 tons. If it is, de-husked only 7, 8 tons, so they will deduct the pro rata. I mean, they will pay for 7 tons only, not for 15 tons. So like that, very, selling is very tough. And for that, you have to create some brand image. Without brand, that consumable item cannot. What Karam has explained, that brand is very important. So, Goodyear that time, they used to procure good quality product from different industry. Even from tire corporation, they used to take our conveyor belts. So, and some other industry, if the quality is good and marketable, they used to take. So they are interested. So they offered us a price, that this is the price and this much portion you will get. So we are not happy, because the money we are getting back nearly 10 bucks or 15 bucks like that. So we wanted at least 50 to 100 rupees. That at 50 rupees, okay, it will do. So we approached your Goodyear director, who called us for a meeting for final costing, this and that, at their office in Chowrange Road. So me with my executive director, Mr. Chatterjee, so went there. So meeting started at 11. So price fixation, raw material, costing, overhead, administrative cost, packaging, this and that. Every bit of the thing that they added, and there was the fixation price. What happened? At about 1:30 or 2, the director's secretary came, lady came, and whispered to his ear, So we thought it is confidential only. So director then stood up. So he said, just now I got the news that our Prime Minister is assassinated. Prime Minister means Mr. Gandhi. Mr. Gandhi was assassinated quite a long back at 9:30 in the morning. But the news was, telecast, I mean, was in public after 1 o'clock. That was 1984, 31st August, 31st October. So there was chaos all around the city, all around. We waited till 4 o'clock. So there was no mobile, nothing. All the centers, exchange were closed. So in the landline, you even can't ring up to your near and dear to your family. So at 5 o'clock, the precipitated, the situation became better. But I saw many cars at place, buses. So my car, was safely, parked. I asked my driver to stay over there. I gave him some money. So at about 6 o'clock, 6:30 o'clock, we went out. So I used to stay in Salt Lake. So all the way, walking, that was 25 kilometers from my residence. Walked down. I don't know what happening to my family, my near and dear people. So I was became very thirsty. No, what everything is closed. All shops are closed. Everybody is residing inside their houses. My throat was extremely tired. Even I did not have had a single drop of water. All walking, totally exhausted. I reached home at about 12 o'clock. So my people, my neighbors, all were waiting for me, and they didn't know, whereabouts of me. Anyway, I survived and I experienced that really an unforgettable incident in my life. Anyway, so after that, what happened? It was closed. Briefly, I'm telling why it was closed, because then we realized that IRCI, now it is called IRBI. So their objective is to make the SIG company sicker and close it down. So I understood it lately. By that time, I worked for about 4.5 years. Yeah. So they attached every, our payment. Attached means they used to pay the old dues in 70s, early 80s. So they paid the dues to the old parties. The old parties I didn't know. They didn't even meet me anyway. So then Mr. Dixit, chairman of IRCI, asked me to report in their headquarters, I mean the regional office at Fairly Place. So I went there, nothing to do, sitting idle. So I roaming around. So frantically I was looking for a job. So for God's grace, whenever I see wanted change, and this to my advertisements that I used to get. So there was a big advertisement for a senior position in Tire Corporation of India. What is Tire Corporation of India? So at that time, NRM, everybody knows that the NRM, that is the instrumental was Dr. Banerjee. So NRM was taken over by central government, and it is a central government enterprise, and renamed the Tire Corporation of India. That is IRP division in Tangra, that is NRM, and the Incheck Tire, that is the Tire division. So I joined in the IRP division. It was not far away from residence, only 10 kilometers from. So I joined there as a senior production and planning manager. That time around 3,000 workers was joined in early 87, April 87. So It was a Sikh company. That's why it was taken over by your central government. So their product was IRP, in IRP conveyor belt, transmission belt, different kind of hoses, braided and wrap, fan and belt, some molded item, and tires, small tires like cycle tire, rickshaw tire, moped tire, scooter tire, and one new project they are having at that time under installation, that is OTR retraining. So I was told by my MD that being a highly qualified technical person, so you must contribute in the technical. Although your designation is for production manager, planning manager, and all this, but you have to look after the technical because we don't have manager there. We didn't keep it, keeping in view that you will be contributing in technical side also. We got 2-3 deputy managers to assist you and all this. So naturally, I used to take the charge of technical side also, side by side production, my primary duty. So administrative job in West Bengal, if you work in a senior position, you have to face a lot of problems from union and all this. Sometimes you have to be out and all this. So there are as many as 5 unions in tire corporation, big unions. So every time they have demand, they place charter of demand. So really, you have to spend useless times, then hours. So and they will drag us to labor commissioner and all this. So in that way, so I also used to look up the technical service also. The technical service, any problem, mainly the problem incurred in conveyor belting. In conveyor belt, I used to visit Durgapur steel plant. If there is some problem, major problem, so I used to be sent there. So, like one, I am telling you one experience, very unforgettable. There is a place called Chapa. Chapa was in MP. Now it is in Chhattisgarh. So, Chapa, there was a colliery. They used our conveyor belt. So, there is no convenience to take air because you have to go by train, and Chapa is a small station. So, get up and go to Chapa. So, I made program. So I was there on end 1992, that is 5th of December. Then after lodging in a hotel, not nice hotel. Anyway, that was very comfortable. The manager was very nice person. And so I informed that concerned people over there using our conveyor belt that this was the conveyor belt got snapped. The splicing there is the to make it your endless, you have to splice it. So some of the splices gone off. So their production is down. So they always have by your standby conveyor and all this. They fixed it up. They called me. They called that your competent technical person and all this to sort out this problem. Then came 6th December, the next morning. So I saw the people are just running away from this way, that way. The driver said, "Sir, some some bad things happening, so we can't." I said, "At least drop me at the site." So car driver dropped me at the site, Chapa. That was about 5-6 kilometers from my hotel. Anyway, so I didn't understand. Every shop closed and this and that. What happened? The demolition of Babri Masjid started on 6th of December since morning 1992. So I witnessed that. So professionally, I was attached to that incident, like I was attached that day Mrs. Gandhi was assassinated. So I was on duty in both the cases. So I was at this. I mean, what to do? So their office, so they are having site office very small. They were kind enough to take me to their regional office, few kilometers away from that place. So their manager, the deputy general manager, like that, he said, so all the convents are closed. You have to wait here. You have to take lunch with me, and all this will arrive. Don't worry, everything will be okay. Although, what about? I haven't seen that conveyor belt. Conveyor belt. Forget about conveyor belt. You just look after yourself. We'll guide you and we'll serve you. No problem. Don't worry. And they forecast that in coming 3-4 days, I think you can't move out from this place. I mean, from Chapa, because everything will be collapsed like that. So anyway, so I stayed. In the evening, they had a special arrangement for a car and dropped me at the hotel. Then the incident exaggerated throughout the country. Now, the next day, day after next, my ticket was booked, return journey. So everything collapsed. The next morning, I found everything was under every big city, small city are under curfew, and all establishments, shop are closed. Polymer was closed totally. So I had to stay back in a hotel. So I didn't know because there was no connection, no mobile was there. All telephone exchange was closed. No news to my family, no news to my factory, no news to my office, no communication. So I used to watch telly that time. I'm a hardcore fan of cricket, so watching cricket that time, one day match and all. Anyway, so everything was watched. So that day passed in the hotel. The next day, I again tried to go to the site, but incidentally, the deputy general manager came down to my hotel because he knew the hotel. He dropped me there. So he said, you don't have to go there because this is the problem of splicing. So I said, we did not, our company did not do any splicing job. So your, that people on site, they have splicers, so catch hold of them. So must be some, problem in splicing. So how, because this conveyor belt did not, snap in the midway on the splicing portion that is flat. So catch hold of him. But no, we know that. We have fired them. So what is the splicing technology? Oh my God. So we have called it for the technology. Oh, gosh. So briefly I explained this has to be done. This is a temperature. They got steel aluminum clustered platen. So give some pressure at least. The solution code and then so briefly I have described and but I can't move out. Trains are closed. I can't go to Howrah, Calcutta. 3 days after, then I had the old ticket that is lapsed. So 3 days, the manager said now one train would be coming after 3 hours. That is Ahmedabad Express. That is station master. I have talked with, and he told me that Ahmedabad Express will come at this time at 9 o'clock or 9:30 like that. So my manager of the hotel was very, very cooperative. So sir, you won't get any food. So I'll and you don't know when you will reach Howrah. So he gave me a stack of food, so it can run for 3-4 days at least. So I carried this there. He arranged for a car on the road. I seen nobody, on the road. All shops are closed. Some buffaloes and cows are roaming around. I entered the station. Not a single person was there. Not a single person. So I am alone there, and lot of buffaloes and cows, they are dead. Was there? I talked to station master. So said, don't worry, this ticket will be valid. Don't worry, because hardly there will be any passenger. So in SA2 cab, there was no first class that time in Ahmedabad Express. So I boarded in AC2 cab that came around at 10:30 in the night. So I saw only 3 people in the coach of 72 people. No, 3 people were there. And all were shivering and, they got together in one coach. So I joined them. So somehow after it takes only 10 hours 12 hour journey. It took about 23-24 hours to reach Howrah. That time it was under curfew. I asked the traffic sergeant that year, you get a taxi. He called the taxi. He was kind enough and gave me the what they call red handkerchief. The taxi driver, they used to wipe the taxi, clean the taxi. So he said that on left hand you sit beside me, the driver, and on left hand you wave continuously wave that your red scarf. I reached there about night 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and people got relieved. Again relieved, like what happened in Indira Gandhi assassination. It happens also like that. So this I told you, just why I am sharing my experience. During my professional career, I have faced such things. So after the Star Corporation again was referred to BIFR. When I worked pretty long time, after 6 years. BIFR means your factory is going to be closed. Very well. Again looking for a job. Again God favored me. I got an ad from ABC Consultant, the big recruiting agent. They want a senior position, you know, where it is. They said it is a Bangur Foundation. Bangur, big industrial group. So where in Relaxer, in senior position. So they screened it. They sent me 5 people, 6 people to Bangur, and they selected me. Quite a good salary and all this. So a unique product. Their product was, I joined the Relaxan group very old, perhaps first or second factory in India. They used to make rubberized coil product, different product. Main product is mattress, because people were switching over from latex mattress to rubberized coil mattress for the benefit, medical benefit. Mattress, cushion, backrest, seat. They used to shed rubberized coil, cushion, seat, backrest to numerous automobile industry like the Hindbottom was very nearby. We are just one railway station away. The plant was in Risla, I mean in Ponnagar, and Hindbottom in Hindbottom itself a big station. So all the product, for that seat, backrest, they used to get it from. I visited a number of times. Then we used to go so many Ashok Leyland, Bajaj Tempo, Bajaj Auto. So I also visited Pune, their headquarters. So they are making very quality product. So I was surprised that in a rubberized coil product, the rubber hydrocarbon content minimum 35%. 35% is the rubber hydrocarbon content in the good quality of coil product. For example, your mattress. So that gives the spring action. That coil is not that coil, it is a process and finely divided. No gut, no surroundings and fiber and all this fiber is taken away neatly, knitted. A lot of process. So I was taking interest in that. But what happened? Being the plant head, I have to look after the administration. Because time and again I told you that if you work in senior position, you are a unit in charge, you have to face administrative problem. You have to sit with the union, you have to negotiate with them and all this. You don't have any freedom to go for 100% involved in technical production and all this. So anyway, the production was pretty good, but again I put the incentive scheme for augmentation of production, and they have increased. So what was the result? So result was the product could not be sold. So my president asked me to increase the production as much as possible. So I said if I give incentive scheme, because I have tried it in Sri Krishna Rubber, I got the result. So if I do that, so your expense will be less, but your profit will be much more because of the augmentation in production. So he agreed, we implemented. And what happened? 300 metric ton finished product accumulated. You know the 300 metric ton, how much? The density, the specific gravity of the power metals on an average is 0.065. So you see the volume of 300 metric ton, where do you have 4 go down on BT road. So it got jammed. It really got jammed, so we stopped production. So the one action the management take to stop production, so declare lockout. From head office it is easy, declare lockout. But people working at plant, I used to stay in the plant. I got a very big quarter. They have given me everything all right. Payment was good. But I say I can't stay in my quarter. I have to go back. Okay, so lockout continued because they could not sell it. What is the reason? Because Carlon, the #1 competitor of Relaxar, they came up. They offered the product at much lower prices to the dealers. And we could not offer that because our overhead was high. Our payment to the workers was pretty high. Naturally, overhead was high. So the management naturally did not want to make loss. So at par cost, even it was higher than that of Carlon's price. So lockout continued. So I said that, so leave me. Well, no, you are very much required. You go to Kerala for this survey. What survey? Rubber plantation. Because they used to consume around your 40 barrels of your latex. 40 barrels. Can you imagine? 40 barrels because one truckload contains 43 barrels. Almost one truckload for everyday production. So they wanted that if the plantation that is viable, they can start plantation of rubber to get it cheaper, to make the product cheaper and sell it out. Okay, I went there in Kerala. I stayed there for 3 long months. 3 long months. I used to stay there in Kottayam, then sometime in Ernakulam. In Kottayam, headquarters, rubber board, and I got all the information from rubber board. People are very cordial, and I used to collaborate with Harrison Malayalam, the latest producer, very big. So they are somehow very close to Bangalore. That's why they helped me a lot and everything. Even I used to stay in their guest house for some time. So after 3 months, I said it is a pretty long time. I want to go back. I have finished my job. So then I, came back to Calcutta, submitted the report and all this. So actually, without job, without that thing, then they thought that I should be looking after other aspect of their business, other than rubber. I said, sorry, other than rubber, I don't know anything. Other than rubber, I can't do that. Sorry. So again, I got advertisement. Again, a senior man required for a small scale industry. What is industry? So they want a very big position, president. President, marketing and technical service, highly experienced and highly qualified, and preferably rubber technologies. I said rubber technologies for this. So I did not know what they are making. So they called me for interview. They had tiny 3 SSI units in and around Calcutta. They were making blowing agents. DNPT, dinitrosopentamethylene tetramine, and ADC, azuricarbonamide. So exclusively used in footwear industry for expanded shapes, for Hawaii chappal, for Eva chappal, we call it. So very big quantity are being consumed. So they said, if you are interested, the job is open to you. They paid me what salary I asked. They, yes, agreed to that. They gave me a new car. Uh, so first thing after induction for 15 days, they used to supply a lot of materials to Bata India, Bonik Group, very big establishment, elite local. So some 30 to 50 tons, in a big company they used to consume in a month. So after that, he said that the MD said that please stay in Delhi at least for a couple of years and see the marketing, mainly technical service. Because at the interview, I told him that I'm not a man of marketing. I just but I applied for that. You called me. I don't know why. So he said, okay, you don't have to carry the bag and sell it. You just to create opening by your service, technical service, by your technical expertise, by giving the technical troubleshooting and technical service, automatically marketing will be done. I said, well, very good. Okay, then I agreed. And another thing I did, so just for these two blowing agent, marketing and technical service, is not my life. I told him. So can I do something else without hampering your business? Well, what? Can I go for consultancy in the footwear to start with in my spare time, not hampering your business at all? He said, jolly good. We can go ahead. No problem. So he sent me to Delhi. I used to stay in hotel. So in Delhi, I first approached big companies like Lakhani, like Relaxo, Oditi, this and that. So what I found, and I did a lot of consultancy because that time was on offtake. I mean, EVA was being developed in many companies, even in small industry. So they used to have a lot of rejection, air blister, expansion problem, this and that problem. So I entered in that, footwear line. So I just studied few formulation and this that and conceived in my brain what is required in a footwear expanded shape. So I was felt confident in that. Okay, I will do that. So I uh, troubleshooted, gave them a formula, try this. They were satisfied, and after satisfaction, they said tomorrow you send me 2 tons of ADC. That was my style of marketing. I did not talk anything about my product. I just in the formula put this SCI ADC, 6 PHR. So in my car, I carried a bag always. So they took out the sample, put it, and got the good result, and ordered me 2 tons initially. So in that way, so I covered NCR, entire North Job. I used to visit Jaipur, in Malviya Nagar, in Vishwakarma Industrial Estate, in Katputli, a small place. I used to visit Kanpur from there, from Delhi, and Faridabad and Gurgaon, a lot of industry I covered. So side by side, I did my consultants and Jalandhar. So that time road was, some long distance was the now bypass was made directly from Delhi to Jaipur, straight bypass. That takes a lesser time than the train time. So one good service in Indian Railway Shatabdi was there. Morning it leaves Delhi station and reaches by afternoon, by noon, to Jaipur, to Kanpur, to Jalandhar, like that. So I stayed there for about 2 years. After every 3 months, 4 months, I used to come back to Calcutta, stay at home for 15 days, like that, even go back like that. And that was very nice period, really good period. And I had 100% freedom. That's all I wanted. That's why I preferred consultancy. Anyway, so at my choice, I can go. I used to go here and there. Then I moved about 6 months to South India, to Hyderabad, to surrounding Hyderabad, Kerala, mind you. Kerala, that time there was as many as 200 to 220 rubber Hawaii units. So they used to take a lot of blowing agent. Even microchip they were making. Because apart from Calcutta, there is no big company making microchip. So microchip, 90% of microchip used in India is to be sent from Calcutta. So microchip they were making. So our agent was there. So I have to correlate with them. And that time mobile facility was available. And big mobile of Nokia, you have to carry it with your hand. And the unit charge was 12 rupees 45. I remember per minute. So I used to spend 10 to 20,000 on mobile internet. And you have different SIM card for different city from Calcutta, your Delhi, your Mumbai, and Chennai. So when you reach Mumbai, you have to take out the Calcutta SIM, put the Mumbai one. Anyway, and the set was costing around 50,000 rupees, including the security deposit. So company gave me anyway. So was making a lot of profit. That's why. So for pretty long time, I would say about 6.5 years like that. I worked there. Then came some financial crunch in that company. Some dealers fled away with cash money because a lot of unorganized sector used to take that material. They used to pay in hard cash, in bundles of 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh hard cash. I won't discuss why hard like that. So our agent, our brother dealer, who's a bachelor, aged person, 50 plus that time, unmarried. So we deputed him there. He fled the money, 22 lakh rupees. They collected from the Jalandhar parties, 22 lakh. So we, telephoned him, send the money, send the money. Well, they are not giving, just tomorrow, day after tomorrow, they'll be giving. I'll send it back. So he accumulated the payment of 22 lakh and fled. My NB was shocked. Me too. Then somehow, my NB, some problem, family problem, health problem altogether. So one by one, he closed down the unit. And then I asked, shall I move? Well, it is your choice. Because then I had the access to so many companies. And I really, because since childhood, I wanted freedom. I want my own boss is me. Nobody will be my boss. I will be a freelancer and I will dictate myself what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go. I will work on my own term. So then I said I will become a whole-time consultancy, freelance consultancy. Then he said, okay, my best wishes with you and all this. Then I started my consultancy from early 2003, pretty long time, so 18 years. And that is the biggest field I have created. I have served so many companies, many companies. I am just giving you, 2-3 examples. I will give you, and very funny examples I will also give that pan India, yes, of course, numbers of industry, maybe 60, 70, 80, and here most of them are small scale, medium scale, who cannot afford to keep a whole-time rubber technologies, qualified rubber technology. At least there are many self-made technologies. Still they want consultancy from me. So throughout India, I talked about Bangladesh. Yes, the 15, 16 times I'm going to Bangladesh. Big group, Haji group, Megna group was number one. They make complete cycle. They got a big plot for making cycle tire, rickshaw tire, cycle tube, rickshaw tube in Tongi near Dhaka. So I used to do that twice. I went there. They are very happy. And they offered me an excursion to Cox Bazar. Stayed there by car. We went, stayed there. Very nice place. That's the border of Myanmar, this, Bangladesh. So ate a lot of hilsa, lot of hilsa. In fact, I had a stomach problem. Okay. So Bangladesh, I told you. But for last few years, I'm not going there. So last tour was to make a PU roll, not by casting, by level grade. Because they small unit, they are having mixing mill, and for rolls they are having lathe machine and all this. So PU roll, I said go for casting. So they said I can't invest that much. So okay, the alternative is go for millable grade. So I developed compound and all this. So once I visited there, stabilize the production. They are still making that PU roller, and from time to time they get. And so many companies, footwear, yes, conveyor belt, yes, I did that. Molded item, microsheet. So this sort of thing. Nepal, I have visited. Nepal in Birgon, that is the border of Bihar and Nepal. Place called Roxol. From Roxol, just he walked down to Birgon. Lot of industries are there. And Kathmandu, yes, but the owners are all Indians. They basically from Calcutta. So I went there for several times. Then I will tell you two technology. You will be surprised to know. I visited Jalandhar to give consultancy on Eva Sleeper and Rice Tiaski Cooler on the same tour. So I went there in Jalandhar. So I visited their plant, what you are making. They are making Hawaii, rubber Hawaii. So I saw the guy, the mixing some, gray color. Oh, what is that? So at the corner of the room, mixing room, I saw some cement bags are stacked. What is that? Oh, this is cement. I know that. So what are you doing with that? We are mixing in the compound. Oh my God. You are mixing in the compound. Literally, he was mixing that time. So I was surprised. So what for you are mixing? Was to make it heavy, is it? So I fetched a bucket of water, plastic bucket of water, and put a pair inside and it's submerged. Oh my God! So you're making, but what about the flexing? It is gone. So what are you making? Well, for two purposes. One is to have high hardness and to make it heavy. That's the dealer's one. Oh my! So I flexed in front of him. Just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 15 strokes, and it, broken into two pieces. Look what you are making. Well, no, it is not our guarantee. Our guarantee is up to the customer, it is state on his feet. I mean, up to that portion, we give guarantee. We have to check, sell it very cheap price, and they want it very high. That's why we are mixing. My God. So this is technology. It was happening. I saw with my own eyes in Jalandhar. Anyway, so I was talking because of all to everyone. I talk about the quality. I always used to say that quality will pay you back. Bad quality will down you. You will be loser, so and so. So he said, "You are talking about quality. I will show you another thing." So he took me in his backward. He got a very big piece of land, vacant land. So at the backyard, he rented it out, and they made a what we call a shed. He saw that my friend he gives me rent, and he is making hose. What hose? Radiator. So I will show you how he is making. He got me there, just behind this main factory. Very long asbestos shed and very decorated office. Office is fully air conditioned and a guest room in there. I first entered in the office, then behind the office was guest room and a big fridge stashed with beer bottles and all this. So he showed me the production. So he took me. There's a long table, iron table, I saw some black cloths are hanging, on the wall. So what is that? That's a rubberized cloth. Oh my God. So I saw some a dozen of women who are working there, and some 6 or 7 men were there working. So what they are doing, the women, they got 8 ounce fabric, 8 ounce fabric, very marking cloth, what you call it, marking cloth. So they are brushing with rubber solution. So both side brushing and hanging, air drying that coated, and some was wrapping, that strip, that rubber strip, about 1 millimeter thickness, wrapping around the GI mandrel. Then someone was cutting, bias cutting of that dried rubberized fabric. So they are wrapping around that fabric, 2 plies like that. So then again, thick one, 2.5 or 3 millimeter thickness, the rubber liner. So all these raw material, rubber solution compound and rubber sheet, they procure from a guy who has a calendar machine. In Jalandhar itself, they get the roll and do it. There is not a single power-driven machine. Only a grinder is there to sharpen the knives and scissors. Covering it, then they, with nylon tape, they are wrapping it finally, and some 6, 7 barrels that was kept onto the fire and containing water. Then water started boiling. They put 100 pieces of radiator hose in there. You see the technology. The man asked me, you are a technologist, you talk about the technology, upgradation, and they are making radiator hose. Every day they are making about 3,000 pieces, selling it to local market to Jalandhar and your Karol Bagh in Delhi, booked it by rail. I saw that technology. No machine, nothing raw material, all compound, containing lot of reclaim. They are making it, they are finishing it, then they are silicon polishing, then they are putting in polythene envelope, packing it, and sending it then and there. There is no inventory. Every day they dispatch 3,000, 4,000 pieces and making huge profit. And that guy made a 4-story building in Jalandhar itself within a couple of years. So that's the part of technology I have experienced in my life. But I did not laugh. I was very serious and appreciating what they do. Without investing anything on machine or electricity, they are producing. So how long they are? Like I asked, how long you are keeping in the hot water boiling? Might be 3 hours, might be 4 hours, like that. So why is the difference of hour? Because we chew it. You take it out, put the nail or something else, see, and we are experienced enough. Whether it is cured or not, we can judge it, then we take it out. By that time, another lot is prepared and put it under boiling water. So this was the technology I faced. So anyway, my job was there to develop rice de-husking roll and Eva Hawaii. I did that and came back.
That's nice, Mr. Ghosh. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it looks like you have a very interesting journey on the.
So can you spare 5 more minutes to talk about something my educational activity and all this? Oh, 5,
okay,
6
yeah,
minutes.
go ahead.
No?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes.
Shall I?
Okay.
Shall I?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So my activities regarding your contribution or sharing my knowledge or expertise in education. So IRI, as I told you, I was a member of PRI London. So I got my IRI transferred. My membership transferred from London way back in 1984 to IRI, Indian Robotics. No, that time it was PRI India chapter. So IRI, it was Indianized in end of 80s. Anyway, so I started, that time the chairman education committee was Mr. B. Dato, late B. Dato. He was unfortunately passed away. He asked me, requested me to, to join our education faculty, and so I started giving lectures to IRI students pretty for a long time, more than 35 years, in 1986. And continuing, whenever I am in Calcutta, if I am in Calcutta, I don't miss any lecture. But really, for the last year and a half, I am teaching online along with my secretary, Dr. Sudhir Sinha. So, on behalf of IRI, apart from that, I give lectures, elaborate lectures, training program, and Paradeep Phosphates Limited, Kotok. Then I gave a training program lecture, the Indian Ordnance Factory, Ishapur Rifle Factory. So, way back in 1991, I was really connected with IIT. IIT, Dr. Professor Sadon Dev, he selected me as a question setter come examiner for the IRI questions for the exam way back in 1991. So I worked as a question setter on behalf of IIT. Used to be the controller of exam. Still now they are controller of exam. So I used to set questions and examiner of the papers for pretty long time. But for the last 5-6 years, they are doing their own. Anyway, so I started giving lecture in IIT also for the short-term courses. Started way back in 1992. That time also, Professor, he says Professor, they, that I think Mr. Dr. Professor Anil Bhumi, they all invited me. So I started giving lecture there for 10, 12 times. I went there. Not only for your short-term courses, but also for training program for the entire faculty members of IIT RTC. That's in brief. I'll call you, and please don't get bored. I talked a lot about that. Over to Pera.
Thank you very much, Priyabrata sir. It's very interesting and also sometimes pretty scary, the way you lived, the way you work in different conditions. So it's thank you for sharing that interesting journey, and I see sometimes it's pretty tough for you in the early years, how you, yeah. Okay, actually, I'm going to invite some of your colleagues to talk about you. Okay, basically the way they work with you, they associated with you in past, currently also as well. So I invite one by one so they can share their experience and their association with you. Let's start with Mr. Sridas Mahapatra. He's an Assistant General Manager at the Awadh Rail Infra. Mr. Sridas, please go ahead. Let me turn off other monitors so that everybody sees Mr. Sridas clearly. Thanks. Okay, let me open it. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Your speaker is on now. Yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Sridhar Mahapatra, completed BSc with chemistry, and also professionally completed DIERI from Kolkata branch in Indian Rubber Institute under respected Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. Presently, I am working with Awadh Rail Infra Limited, Lucknow, as an Assistant General Manager Technical since 10 years, and having 28 years of experience in various types of rubber industries. Thanks to TechnoBiz for giving me an opportunity to say something about respected Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. Priyabrata sir is a very good teacher as well as well experienced in rubber compounding, rubber processing, and all sorts of technical know-how. I have learned so many things from him regarding rubber compound design, processing, and how to sort out a problem and solve. I am very much grateful to him for his helping nature, and I wish him a good health and cheerful life. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Cesar, thanks. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Ghosh, you want to say any words and how your association
Oh,
seems?
wow. He almost talks every day. He
Easy.
almost talks every day. No? So we are well connected, and socially, professionally. So Sridhar, I wish him all the best all the time.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you
Right.
very much. Now I invite Professor Deepankar Chattopadhyaya. Please, open your webcam, sir, and okay, let me. Okay, I need attendees consultant. Okay, can you open your mic, sir? Your mic is muted.
Thank you,
Okay,
Priyabrata, for taking this initiative. I have association with Mr. Ghosh for the last 10 years. But today I came to know so many things about him. The vast experience he has, starting from tire sector to footwear, every applications of rubber technology. And what he mentioned very important for us also, he used to fix his conditions before joining a job. That is very important. That is not by compulsion, but by choice. He used to select his job. Now, he mentioned about Dr. D. Banerjee. Once I met Dr. D. Banerjee, you can say he's father of rubber technology in Calcutta, in India. He was a very nice person. I met in the year 1988 to collect some donation for our reunion in the department. As you know, this is the oldest department offering polymer science and technology in India. And at that time, he contributed 5,000 in 1988, I am talking about. And I visited the ISKCON consultancy. And another thing is important I'd like to mention here, he mentioned already. The concept of actually polymer science and technology was brought by Professor Santiranjan Palit. He was professor at Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science. And then we used to say he's father of polymer science and technology in India, like Dr. D. Banerjee, father of rubber technology in India. And he started Indian Rubber Institute. I am associated with Indian Rubber Institute, and many occasions I used to meet Mr. Ghosh. We used to organize conferences under the banner of IRI. He's a nice gentleman, thorough knowledge. Although we are unable to use his expertise in our department for students, that is one drawback. In future, surely we will try to invite him for delivering lecture in our department, because the next generation, that is most important, the students, they will enrich themselves from the knowledge of Mr. Ghosh. I am also at the age of 56. What I have some experience in industry, but I have found very rare people who has vast knowledge in different areas of art. He has experience in, as I told, conveyor belt, he mentioned, footwear, all types of tire, all types of products. Generally, what people used to do, suppose somebody joined in tire industry, means he used to stay there in tire industry. He may shift from one tire industry to another tire industry. But this vast experience in different field, very rare. very rare, I should say. So thank you, Mr. Ghosh. I'm not doing any research in the area of rubber. I used to teach some subject. If I face any problem, I will contact you to reach myself with knowledge. What happened?
No, it's all right. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. But anyhow, any problem in my camera probably here.
No, it is clearly.
That is very important. And other thing, what he mentioned, what I enriched myself, that whenever in any profession, whenever you are there in any industry, the most important thing is the knowledge. Okay, you may have some publication, some other things, but knowledge matters. What he has. So that is very important. Thank you, Mr. Ghosh, for your nicely describing your journey, and hope you will continue with this. You will enrich ourselves with the knowledge of our science and technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dipankar. Mr. Ghosh, you want to say a few words?
Yes. After a long time, I'm meeting Professor Chakrabarti. He's a very nice man. He also likes me anyway. So I was really fortunate that he talked something about me. So I just, wanted a platform to discuss my, some unique experience in my life during the tenure of my career and all this stuff. So thank you once again.
But sir, one thing I would like to know, don't take it otherwise, it's not a political question. But why this Tire Corporation of India and Dunlop are closed? Although at that time they are pioneer in manufacturing different rubber products, particularly tire. Today, suppose Ford closed their business in India. Few years back, General Motor closed. So what is the basic reason? What you find that? What is the reason? Why we are lagging?
Lagging? You are asking me. You are asking me. I think the shifting, closing and shifting the factories to other states. Some are closed because they lost the viability. Viability, to run the production because of two things. One is cost of production is very high, and work culture has gone down to the lowest possible level. So in different states, the government is ready. They are giving you the tax holiday for 7 years, for 10 years, giving you the infrastructure, ready-made infrastructure. If you do, you will get the next year, you will get water connection, electricity connection, this and that. So, and for the main reason being the tax holiday, added benefit, and overall the cost of production will be lower. So people, especially the big industrial group, they are shifting away. This is the main reason.
Question is my not question. I'd like to know from you. Is it possible retreading of Airbus tire? You mentioned during your lecture that Dunlop used to do that at that time.
Aero tire retreading plant was, very big plant in Dunlop. Aero tire they used to do. After every 5-6 landing, the tire, whether it is, abraded or not, that is used to send back to Dunlop Saga for retreading. Okay. You can't, land it 10-12 times. So after 4 to 6 landing, the tire has to be retreaded. So they are very sophisticated retreading plant in the Saga, all the aero tires. And many people do bus tire, truck tire retreading is coming up because the tire prices are going up. Every
that is people are doing, but sir, that is people are doing, I know, okay. But in case of that Airbus tire, anybody is doing in any industry in India because
no. At present, I really don't know. But
Oh,
only Dunlop got the license. Got the license from India government that only Dunlop can do that aero tire lifting. Right.
thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Because
Professor. Thank you
MRF was
very
trying
much.
that time, practically, actually. But MRF did not get it. Because of the Dunlop had the technology for Dunlop, and that was that particular matter from compounding to processing, everything was controlled by Mr. Peter Day. Peter Day used to be the technical director, and he was deputed from Fort Dunlop to Sahagan from time to time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor Deepankar. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, sharing your experience with Mr. Ghosh. Now invite Dr. Sudipta Sinha from Arupol. Can you please open your webcam, sir? Yes. Okay, Dr. Sudipta Sinha, please tell us your association with Mr. Ghosh. Thank you. Your voice
Not audible.
Not audible. Can you unmute your speaker, please?
Yeah. Now
Okay.
it is okay.
It is okay. Good.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I am Dr. Sudipta Sinha. I am the honorary secretary of Indian Rubber Institute, Calcutta branch, and I am also the technical director of Auropol India Private Limited. We are manufacturing rubber chemicals, specialty rubber chemicals, and we are supplying all over India and abroad also. And I am looking after these technical services also. Okay, so it is my pleasure to talk something about Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh because he is a very senior to me, and I know him for last 20 years. When I joined IRI as an administrative post, I joined. So Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh was our past chairman of Indian Rubber Institute, Calcutta, and he has a very vast knowledge in rubber technology. And at present, he is taking our classes of student of PG DRI and DRI courses of that is organized by Indian Rubber Institute, and is a controller of examination is IIT Kharagpur. And now Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh, he is now doing some as he has some very good knowledge in rubber. Now he is doing consultancy in not only in India, he is also doing consultancy in surrounding countries also. So I know him from last 20 years, and every day we are talking how to improve the activity of our IRI, Calcutta branch, how to improve our classes and others, our syllabus and others. So we have a very good relation with Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh, and jointly we are taking some decision to how to run the IRI Calcutta branch. So this is my talking about. So we have a very good. I know him from last 20 years. He's a very nice person. So this is about my Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Sudip Sinha. Any words for you from Mr. Ghosh about Dr. Sinha?
Oh, Sudip, my good friend for last 20 years. Almost every day. If he doesn't ring me, I give him back. So we discuss on so many issues. From COVID situation to IRI activities to lecture program, this and that. So nothing new to talk about him.
Without his, we are always doing work jointly. I first discuss with him what we will do that, then we are taking the decision for IRI.
That's nice. That's
what
nice.
to be assert in IRI to a particular mail and all this. We discuss every matter, every bit of matter.
Very nice, very nice.
And he is single-handedly running the institute.
It's nice that both of you actually helping the IRI Calcutta branch to educating younger generation. That's very nice. Thank you very much, Dr.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I invite Professor GB Nando. Let me ask him to open his webcam. Professor GB Nando, can you open your webcam, sir? Okay, and your speaker as well. Yeah. Okay, it's good. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Can you share your association with the? Yeah.
Okay. Nice of you. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak a few words about Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. So I am Golok Bihari Nanda. I'm Dr. Golok Bihari Nanda, former professor and head of the Rubber Technology Center of IIT Kharagpur. And I'll just like to talk about Mr. Ghosh because I had an association with him for the last 30 years. And how it has come, already Mr. Ghosh spoken a little bit about it. It is in the year 1990 and 91, we did invite him to IIT Kharagpur to deliver a few lectures in our short-term courses offered to the practicing engineers and technologists from the rubber industries in the country. So there actually I had association with him, and I heard his lecture, and the lecture was very interesting because he is, unbiased way he delivered his lecture, because he's very much oriented or interested for sharing his knowledge to the younger generation, to the budding technologists. A scientist can be made into a technologist, and that way he had contributed from his experience on the rubber technology. That is a very interesting way of that's why whenever we feel like lacking somewhere in any industry, because he has a wide knowledge in almost every field of rubber technology. As you have already heard him, that he has experienced in tire industries of different manufacturing of different tires and tubes, in belting industry, in hose industry, in footwear industry, and most importantly about the coir mattress industry. That is a very rare article which was later introduced into our society, and he has worked in that industry and he has an expertise in that industry. That I found it very interesting. Nobody before that had given a good lecture on the coir mattress manufacturing before Mr. Ghosh has delivered one lecture to our students, our master degree students at IIT Kharagpur. So that was very impressive, in fact. So since then, we have been inviting for almost every year to deliver a few lectures to our, master degree students, and also to our, short-term course students. Coming from different industries. So this way I have been contacting and I have been associating with him. So things I'd like to highlight here that, I thought that he has consolidated his experience in and around Calcutta. But later on I found that he has served in not only in Calcutta industries, but also all over the country in various industries. This was an interesting information to me. So a little bit about the Calcutta, I would like to say that, in 1955, Government of India Education Department decided that a rubber technology program or course has to be commenced in a higher institution like IIT Kharagpur. IIT Kharagpur was established in 1951. But this course started on polymer science and rubber technology as a master degree program in 1955, where there was nowhere else in the country any course offered in polymer science and rubber technology. Of course, I will take exception to Professor S.R. Pali's work on polymers. He has been working on polymers. That's correct. What Professor Chattopadhyay also mentioned. In ISS, he is working on polymers. But on technological aspects, nowhere else this course was being offered except at IIT Kharagpur, which commenced in 1955. And since that time, it was continuing up to 1980. But later on, because of some administrative problems, and those professors who were there teaching in polymers and rubbers in IIT Kharagpur, they all retired, like Professor Saudabh Banerjee, Professor P.C. Banerjee. As a result, there was some political, there were some, administrative problems, and as a result, a new rubber technology center was opened in 1981. See, in 1981, the center was opened, so it was fully dedicated to rubber technology and rubber engineering. And since then, we have been seeking the help of the industries because most of the faculty have retired and new faculty have joined. So we wanted the information knowledge from the experienced rubber technologists working in different industries. That is why we have been looking for different people from industries and inviting them to deliver lectures. So in this way, at that time, of course, Mr. Ghosh was not in Calcutta. He was, I think, serving in 1981 to 88. He was serving somewhere else, I think so. So this, I think he will tell that. But from 1990 onwards, we started inviting him. And you know that at that time, Calcutta was the hub of the rubber industries. All big industry you talk about, Dunlop, Bata, then, tire corporation in India, which was earlier known as Insect Tires, and NRM, IRM, ICI, all these industries were located in Calcutta. So a number of rubber technologists were serving in Calcutta itself. But gradually, in the latter half of the last century, the industries went away in the sense that they are gradually being closed down. As a result, it lost its importance in rubber technologies. So I just wanted to highlight that we had interaction with Mr. Ghosh since 1990, 1991, and which was still continuing because whenever we get an opportunity, we invite him to our institute. Even at the in the recent past, when I was in IIT Bhubaneswar, we organized a short-term course on rubber compounding, and I personally invited Mr. Ghosh to come over to Bhubaneswar and deliver a few lectures, and he obliged, and he came to Bhubaneswar and delivered a few lectures. So, so like that, I have the interaction with him, and I found that since Mr. Ghosh has served various types of rubber industries in the last 50 years. He has wide experience in rubber technology, and so a few things I would like to mention about him is that he is a person who is more academic oriented actually, although he served the industries in more academic, in the sense that he wants to transfer his knowledge to the younger or budding technologists. And that is why you find that he is the chairman of the Indian Rubber Institute Education Committee of Calcutta branch. Of course, he was the former chairman of the IRA branch also. So he has this knack of sharing knowledge with others. That is most important. And that you not get it from many other technologists. I have come across many other technologists in the country, but exceptionally is Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh, who can share his views, his knowledge with others. That's important. And okay. And second, lastly, I would like to say that I had very good relation with him, and I can mention that he's a very straightforward person. Straightforward.
We have a problem.
Commitment for his duties and responsibility has come. That's I was very much impressed by that actually. And Mr. he has a lot of interest in painting and interior design. Like that, we had very good time in his house. So I think that's all I would like to speak about him. So I wish Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh a long life and success in his efforts. Thank you very much, Mr. Ghosh and Mr. Rao, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Professor Nanda. Professor Nanda, thank you very much. Very nice words, and I'm very excited that we're very much honored to have Mr. Ghosh on this program. Mr. Ghosh, you'd like to share a few words about?
Sure. Professor Nanda, thank you very much. One word I like that Professor Nanda said, sharing the knowledge. So it is true. Whatever little knowledge I have on rubber technology experience, I always share with my people, especially for the younger people, my students, and all this. And I tell them a lot of incidents. This happened with me. This way I have tackled the situation. This way I troubleshooted the processing and all this. I share it, and I feel honored in sharing my knowledge, whatever little I have.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ghosh. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your for inviting me for this talk. Thank you.
Okay, now I invite actually Mr. KK. There is a technical manager at the Sony roller company limited. He's unable to join live, but he has sent me the video. So I'm going to show his video. Give me a second. Okay, his video is on.
Namaskar. Today I want to speak about such a person who is very famous in our Indian rubber industry. He is highly educated, experienced, sincere and well-behaved person. His name is Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. He had completed his study in London. After returning from there, he worked in government and many private organizations. He has developed lot of rubber products such as side wear pad, tank lining, rubber roller, etc. Now he is working as a rubber consultant in our company. Before joining in our company, we have faced lot of problems, especially in EPDM and neoprene compound. There was no bonding in EPDM and neoprene compound. But after joining, he developed these two compounds in such a way. Now our bonding failure is nil. We are not any getting complaint from our customer. Really, we are very grateful to him for his developing this type of compound. I and our company very grateful to him. Our best wishes
Any problem, Rao?
to him. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's a nice message from the KK Day. Okay, let me invite. Just a second. Let me. Okay, this. Okay. Now I have another guest of viewer, friend of yours, Mr. Raman Shiva Shankaran is currently is a rubber industry consultant. I think he's three together. I can open his webcam, Mr. Shiva Shankaran. Can also your cam. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so you can share your experience association with Mr. Ghosh. Thank you.
Say, I know Mr. Ghosh way back from 1975. You say we were fellow students at the National College of Rubber Technology, London, pursuing our postgraduate studies in rubber technology. Before I joined the course, associateship course in rubber technology, it was called, Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh has already completed LPRI, LNCRT, and all those things, and he was a fellow student. I had a lot of inspiration from him to start with. You say, he used to approach the technology in a different way from the other students. You see, what I used to call, he hits the nail on the head. The questions he will ask the tutors and the lecturers, you see, it will be something different. For an example, I still remember after 40 years or 45 years, I've been to National College, or even more than that, in 1975. You can just count on that. And he will ask one question. He always asks one question in latex. To start with, the volatile fatty acid number, VFA number it was called. When the lecturer has finished that lecture, Mr. Haley, right? And he would ask whether it is connected with the aging of the latex. You see, what is the application? He'll go to the bottom of the things. And after completing our postgraduate studies, I lost touch with him because he returned to India after 1 or 2 years in England. I continued to stay in England. I started working in England for another 4 years or 6 years. And he came back to India because he got an offer from Calcutta, Dunlop's Calcutta. And I did not know where he was. And, I didn't think about him until I came back to India. I had a lot of, experience abroad. I went to Indonesia and stayed there for 17 years as an expatriate. And then I returned back to India. And suddenly, I found an advertisement in Rubber India about Priyabrata Ghosh, his consultancy. So I was really thrilled. I called him. I was working in Gold Steel Daman at the time as a general manager of compounding and mixing. I just called him, and he was also very much happy to hear from me. And ever since then, we have been exchanging our professional ideas and the experience. But the amount of help I received from him, and the guidance, and the benefits I have gained from his knowledge and experience is tremendous. You can say, and till today, anything I require, even if I know something about the technology, I would always call him and ask him for a second opinion. And he will go into details. One thing with him is, he won't go into superficial things. He will just go to the bottom of the thing of any problem, and he will come out with a solution. You see, it is beautiful to talk to him, and it's a very, very good experience to associate with him. And I'm very happy today that I've been on board, where he's, presenting his journey in rubber technology. And I would easily rate him among the top 10% of the world rubber technologists today. And the contribution, I'm very sure the contribution he would make for the participants through TechnoBiz will be tremendous and will be very valuable. And Ghosh, I'm very happy to be here and talk about you a little bit. There are a lot of things I can talk, but it will not fit the scope of the time. It'll go on hours and hours and hours. One thing is he is very informal. You see, he is ready to help. You see, I've got so much confidence after talking to him. You see, although I'm a professional, I also gone to National College of Rubber Technology. We have gained, although he is much qualified more than me, and we have gained experience and everything. I would gain some amount of confidence after talking to him, you know. And it is really nice to have a person in India of his sort who would be able to benefit the Indian rubber industry, especially the youngsters who are coming up, and through TechnoBiz, which are doing a very great service in this regard. Thank you, Ghosh. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sankaran sir. Sankaran sir, thank you very much for nice words. I really am happy to know. Mr. Ghosh, you want to say your bold buddy?
Raman and me used to talk currently, So he was reluctant to take a COVID vaccine, I forced him. I repeatedly rang him, go and take the vaccine, go and take the vaccine. Yeah. And after that, he was forced to go to vaccine camp and took the vaccine. So that sort of relation I have with Raman. And once Raman came to Calcutta to attend the conference long back, so I received him. I took him to my residence, had lunch and all this. So we had a nice time that time. Even when I went to Chennai for 3-4 occasions, I thought Raman, being a Tamilian, will be reside in Chennai, but that time he is settled in Bombay, that is in Mumbai. So Raman is a kind of my friend. He is a friend forever. What else? Raman is my almost childhood friend right from my college life. Thanks, Raman. Keep touch with me.
Okay, thank you very much. Very nice. It's nice to see buddies together. That's nice. Yeah, lifelong friends in rubber technology. Okay, may I invite Dr. Samar? I think that's all the colleagues of yours are on the board to share a few words about Dr. Samar. Would you like to come on board and say thank you? Share a few words to the. Can you please all others? Mr. Open your webcams, please. Mr. Sridas, can you open your webcam, please? And also Dr. Sudeep Sinha as well, please. Yeah, and Professor Golok Nanda, can you open your webcam, sir? Yeah, okay.
So it's a galaxy of people, and I'm very, very happy that I can talk to all of you. Really, it is a wonderful occasion, and I sincerely thank each one of you. Professor Nanda, Dr. Sudipta Sinha, Sridas Mahapatra, my favorite Dipuda, Professor Dipankar Chattopadhyay. I say him Gurudev, and he also says me Gurudev. And Raman said, Raman Siva Sankaran. Actually, because of COVID, I forgot you. Otherwise, 3 years back, we were talking each other. Yesterday night, when I talked to him, I was delighted. Oh, this man, I forgot him. Nevertheless, I sincerely thank each one of you to grace this occasion and making all of us very, very happy. Priyabrata sir, you are great.
Not like that.
People around you. So we are delighted. And Peram, this is a big thanks to you also for doing this great function and great occasion.
Yes.
Thanks all of you, sir, and wish you all best of luck and a happy journey.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, we go to the next part, the final part of this session, which is a Q&A session. We have a couple of questions for Mr. Ghosh to answer. Okay, let me take over the screen. Yeah.
Before Peram, can you hear me?
Sure,
Okay.
yes.
Can I just talk for a minute?
Sure.
Just omitted I think vital. I want to share it. Just a minute.
Sure. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Shall
Yes.
I? As I told, shall I start? Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yes.
As I am now freelancing and consultant, So I also transferred technology in apart from Bangladesh and Nepal to some other countries. To name some, I send the technology on paper mill roller. That is total package, right from blasting and all this theory to Egypt, paper mill roller. Then all on online. Ukraine, I sent expanded EPDM and expanded SBR sheet. Then Iraq, the total package was for EVA microsheet, midsole, outsole EVA, and your EPDM insole. EPDM insole, one unique thing is zero hardness. It is so soft, but it is recoverable, made of EPDM. So compression set is beautiful. I mean, it is total recovery almost, and it is zero hardness almost. You can't see the reading in the Sore hardness meter. Then Mexico for cheap quality, cheap compounding for cycle tire, thread, and friction compound and tube compound. These 4 places I have sent online technology and past 7-8 years. Okay.
Thank you very much. So
over
you still, as he said, Mr. Ghosh said, he's still very active, guys. You can still take his help, assistance on various issues about rubber technology. Now I invite him to give us a few, answers for some of the questions raised by the audience. Okay, and we have a couple of questions. Mr. Ghosh, I'll show you on the screen one by one, so you can address them one by one. Yeah.
What are the different steps followed for EPDM sponge profile? Right from mixing, yes. Right from mixing for sponge profile, you have to make a very low viscosity compound. That is the condition number 1. In that case, you have to choose low viscosity EPDM rubber, or even you can choose oil extended EPDM. So compounding, you must have for make it a sponge, you must have blowing agent, DNPT, or DNPT is giving slightly coarser cell. Better to have ADC, azodicarbonamide. DNPT is dinitrous of pentamethylene tetramine. Anyway, so this is the compounding part in short. And being a low viscosity, the flow is extremely good, no problem. So it flows, and generally this sponge profile main use is in automobile industry. Very large quantities are consumed. So a lot of factories have come up. So microwave heating. So what is microwave heating? That is excitement of the molecules that will go through the electromagnetic field created by magnetron. The size of the magnetron is very high, 2450 megahertz, like that. So what microwave heating does, that cures from center to outwards. So, and another thing in microwave, you will have thicker section, cured property, but thinner section, because there are some thin section, cross section. If you cut through the cross section by looking at outside, you will see it is very simple profile, but not at all. If you cut through, see the cross section, there are some leaves of thin section. So that remains under cure. The thinner section is the other way around in the direct heating. The thicker section get cured up, and thinner section is under cure. So what to do? And you have to supplement it. So the way by fixing hot air curing tunnel. So after microwave curing, that passes through the hot air curing tunnel, and finally inspected and wrapped. So this is in brief the curing system. A neat and clean process, no contamination, nothing. And EPDM, please take it for EPDM being a in microwave condition, it should be a polar compound. So EPDM is not a polar compound at all. So what you have to do is carbon black has some polarity, and one more that I think that is polyethylene glycol to 3.5 pH if you give the polarity to, and it is suitable for micro FDM. Next, please. Next one. How to take control of hardness of microcellular footwear. Good. In microcellular footwear, generally you have to control hardness not by adding reinforcing filler. So you have to control it by limiting your expansion. So lower the expansion, higher would be the density, and higher the density will give you higher hardness. So expansion is the main thing. But unlike solid rubber, you have to control without having reinforcing filler, because the condition being such that the viscosity will be quite low in your expanded microcellular compound to have enough flowability, as well as there should be no hindrance during the expansion after the release. So if viscosity is high, so there will be a restriction of the expansion, and proper expansion will never happen. So, and you will have curly surface, the edges will be rough and uneven. So you have to allow the expansion, whatever expansion you require. So expansion is related to hardness, number one. If you want lightweight, because density will be higher, you can say that I want lower density with higher hardness. So in that case, you have to adjust with your high standard rubber content. It can only be done in rubber microcellular footwear, maybe Hawaii chapel or microcellular sheet. So if you increase the HSR content, high standard rubber content, so being high content of that styrene, so hardness will be improved, as well as the abrasion resistance will improve. Flow, there will be good flow, under heat, no problem. But the problem is the flexibility. If the quantity of the HSR goes exceed, the flexibility will be poor. So you have to compromise all this. So next one. What are the measures taken in calendaring operation for control of thickness variation? That is the most important thing about calendar machine. So what happens? Why uneven thickness? Because during calendaring, what happens? The rubber compound being highly viscoelastic in nature puts tremendous thrust, particularly at the center of the road. What happens? There is a deflection, road deflection. So the thickness at the center is more than that of the edges. To counter that, there are basically three your measures, three remedial things you have to take. One is roll cambering. We also call it roll crowning. The top roll, that is convex crowning. Middle roll, you don't have to do anything, and the bottom roll concave. So just to compensate it. So if you draw on a piece of paper, you can see that if it's fast, then the sheet will be like this, and when it is coming to the third and second row, it is countered. So thickness. So whatever thickness increase in the center of the roll, so that is compensated by cambering in convex. All this. So cambering can be done. Previously, when I was young and having calendaring problems, so calendar roll has to be dismantled, taken, loaded with help of crane, and transferred it to the machine shop, workshop there. Now it has become very easy. Now the people will come who are expert on this thing in situ, who have in the position of the calendar without touching, dismantling. They will fix up the grinding machine. They computerize it. How much cambering you want? 3,000, 2,000, up to 4,000. Generally up to 4,000 to 5,000. Yeah, that is the maximum limit. That will be done. So no problem. That is the one action, cambering or crowning. Second one is cross-axis adjustment. So there are parallel axis. If you cross slightly, very slightly, the upper roll axis. So what happens? So opening at the big roll, though the knee gap is set, but due to the action of the crossing the axis, the gap is more at the end. So in that way, your thickness variation is controlled, so it is compensating. So whatever higher thickness you get at center, that's compensated by the at the end by this system called cross axis. And the third one is what do you call hydraulic pullback. Hydraulic pullback very slightly it is done. So at the both sides of the journal, there is you see a wheel that is motorized for the big roller and can be rotated with hand for the small size calendar. So again, the theory is more or less same as with the cross-axis system. So your objective is to have more gap at the ends. So by pulling hydraulic at the journal side, very thin, it is not visible with eye, neither with any telescopic microscope. So all you can see in the computer or gauge, you can feel it and you pull it back at the both ends and it will be compensated like that. This is the three general method. Apart from this viscosity, the temperature relation, all these that you have to maintain constant. Next one, please. Next one. What are the different ways of improvement of metal to rubber addition in rubber roller? Big question. So right from metal preparation, you have to take care of. So generally for rubber rolls, there is a core. Core is of mild steel generally, maybe casting. Anyway, so you have to sandblast it. Not sandblast. I suggest you get it grade blasting. Grade blasting. First, what you have to do, you have to clean the surface with your. If it is re-rubberization, you have a cut to ensure that no rubber layer is adhered to that. After cutting, you have to make grooving. What is the groove specification? Is 0.5 millimeter depth and pitch is 1 millimeter. So grooving, what it does, it increases the surface area. Then you have a wear brushing onto this. There is no trace of rust whatsoever onto the surface of the roller. Then you get it to grit blasting. About 60 mesh with 40 to 60 mesh. Grit is generally made from hardened balls. In the ball bearings, the rejected from the balls are collected and it is broken into pieces. So that grit is very good, hardened metal. So metal should be more hard than the surface you are treating, you are blasting. So there you will get a lot of impregnation, roughness. So more roughness you get, more of surface area we get, so more of bonding. For application of bonding, so you have to wash it of the grease. There are no traces of dust of grease is there. Then wash it with solvent, dry it, then put a 2-pot system is generally recommended for rubber roller being applied to high dynamic load. So you have to put what you call primer coat first, and at every stage you have to maintain the humidity and moisture. Moisture is very much detrimental, detrimental to body. So you have to remove moisture. In rainy season, it is more chances to get moisture. So humidity, you must keep it 40-45%. And in rainy season, what happens after application of coats? You will see there is moisture absorption from the atmosphere. So you can jolly good dry it because that rubber roller being so big, you just can't accommodate in hot air oven. So you can dry it with a hot air blower. The function is like hair dryer, so bigger one. You dry it with a hot air blowing and then put the final coat, again dry it. So drying means to ensure that there is no moisture. Moisture should be under 8%. and then you put a solution code. So what is the purpose of the solution code? There are two objectives. One is to have tackiness to the cover compound. The covering is done mainly on extrusion stripping method, and it also protects the bonding agent from humidity as a protector. So then you have to build up your thickness by extrusion strip. Previously, it was used to be done from calendar sheet, and there are more than even chance that air get entrapped. So all the surface, all the time, while wrapping with the calendar sheet, you have to prick it with your nail. So that was very laborious, very skillful, and time consuming. Now people are doing with extrusion strip that automatically goes to and fro to build up your required thickness in green condition. So after that, you have to tighten to give pressure at least 30 to 35 kg with nylon tape wrapped around tightly with the same lathe machine, and it is ready for vulcanization. In vulcanization, you have to do very careful. I mean, from very low rise pressure and up to an optimum temperature 140 to 145 degrees centigrade, not more than that. So you will increase Bollywood to time. So it takes longer time, and step curing and with shorter low temperature. And after blowing the steam, you keep it inside the vulcanizer for several hours, then take it out and let it be cooled down to ambient temperature. Then do the rest, finishing and all this grinding and this. So at every stage of processing, which we call process control, you have to maintain very religious. That's all. Next one, please.
That's all the questions for now, and I will send remaining questions to you. Okay, so you can address them later. I think we end this program here now. I thank you, Professor Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh, for giving your journey as an interesting journey as part of this program. I would like to request you to give a final remarks to the audience. Okay.
Remarks means my journey or some good advice?
Your final remarks. Thank you note to the audience.
Final remarks, okay. Based on my experience and my long career. So for younger generation, it might be open to all. So 2-3 things I will like to mention. Quality. I give you an example of Jalandhar. But quality is such a thing that quality will pay back. Always. Always pay back. You just want quick bucks. You deteriorate quality, but in long run you are loser. So quality will create a brand image. Quality will be, this is a path for your survival and growth. So don't compromise with quality. To keep the quality, process control is equally important. So at every process, at every stage of process, so don't say anything goes, because a lot of people are there. Anything goes, chalta hai. But this is not there. This is very critical rubber. So what way you are treating the rubber, rubber will give you the reply in that way. So even I've seen very good compound, that failed in service because the manufacturer did not control the process. And selection of raw material, yes, equally important, and everything. I would suggest for any development, any troubleshooting or you first be satisfied yourself. You first evaluate the thing in the lab scale. You evaluate it, get satisfied, make a sample, make sure it will perform well, then implement in get the feedback from the market also. Then you implement it. That is about the quality. Second thing, now the talking point, the paramount feature nowadays is the pollution. pollution, especially for the generations to come. So we are being polluted. Every year is passed. Deforestation is there. Urbanization is there due to huge population, particularly this part of the country. So you have to cope with that. As parents said, plant a tree in your office, work place or home. So the objective is to have create more oxygen, reduce carbon dioxide level. Take plenty of oxygen from the nature. Don't take oxygen from the cylinders. So to adopt that motto, so you should have gone, or you should adopt the green technology. So green technology means you have to use that material that don't pollute it. You can use material that can be recycled. We talk about the circular economy. So circular economy is nothing but you can you will recycle, reuse, reduce, regenerate, recycle, renew. These are 5 R's in this process, circular economy. So it helps not only in economy but control of pollution. So pollution will be threatening in the coming days. So all the developing country and developed country, they are working hard on pollution. So you should also adopt that green technology in rubber production and rubber technology, and that should be taught to the young generation. I think that may be made a subject for teaching. So adoption of green technology. So these two advice will maybe suit for the younger generation. And I'm talking out of my experience and journey through my career. Okay, Peram.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ghosh. It's a good message to the audience. One is quality, quality, quality. Second is get rid of the pollution by planting using the green technology. So that's a very nice message. We end the program here. Thank you once again for joining this session in conversation with the eminent rubber industry professional. You really, your journey is unbelievable, incredible. Okay, it's interesting, and you've got a vast experience. We want you to continue this journey, to share your knowledge, help the younger generation and keeping the rubber industry in a sustainable position. Thank you once again on behalf of the.
Thank you, Peram, for giving me the opportunity to share my little bit knowledge in this field, to share with my colleagues and the audience for the young generation. So something they may take from this stage, or something they can reject out.
And TechnoBiz will be working with you in a long time. Okay, so as you know, our journey TechnoBiz.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm about to end the program, and before I end the program, I wanted to tell you who else are coming on the the next eminent persons, rubber industry professionals. I want you to make a note of these people. Everybody is well experienced, like Mr. Ghosh. Everybody has interesting story as well. Okay, so we're having Mr. V. Srinivasan. Okay, he is. We are having the next one on the 9th October. Okay, and then we have Mr. I.K. Bahal is on the 23rd October. Then we have Mr. Kesava Shivaloganathan. He's on the November 21st. And Mr. Sudhir Gautam will be in January. We'll be scheduling the dates, double check with the date, but they are invited. They are about to participate in this program. And Mr. Dr. Pranab Kumar Pal and Professor Golok Nanda, you already know him, and Nando, sorry, that's a spelling mistake. And Mr. R. Mohan, we'll be scheduling in next year. And Mr. Shail Chandra Jain. As you see, everybody got interesting journey, interesting story, and it's so beautiful for the younger generation to learn from these experienced people. And I'm very much fortunate knowing them. Maybe I have never met many of them in person, but through this program, I'm very much excited and felt blessed by associating with these people. And also Mr. Ramapati Panda is also, will be joining us. So we will be scheduling. Please watch our website and maybe my postings in the near future through their website, eminentpersonality-webinars.com. And one more, again, I re-emphasize this as Mr. Ghosh mentioned about the plant motorists. I think we have suffered a lot. I think COVID gave us a big lesson for all of us, importance of the oxygen, importance of oxygen pollution, and how to deal with it. And I don't talk big words, but I just want to say that the feasible things plant around your home and your workplace. I think that if you contribute that way, really useful for you and your neighbors. Okay. With that note, I want to end this program, but I want all the speakers, all the panelists and invited guests to come on board one more time, before we say bye-bye to each other. Dr. Samar and Professor Nando, Professor Deepankar, and all others on as a panel, please come forward. Yeah. Join us. We take one a nice group picture together. Who else there? Dr. Sinha.
Professor Deepankar, thank you very much for a long time.
And Mr. Raman,
Blah, blah, blah.
Open your webcam, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Professor Golok Nanda, Mr. Raman, can you open your webcam? Are you there? Okay. Yeah. Okay, Professor Nando. Okay, almost all here. Okay, guys, I really want to thank you once more, on behalf of TechnoBiz and on behalf of this whole thing. Is really interesting for me personally, and also for the TechnoBiz doing this program. I'm hoping that it inspires younger people to know more about rubber industry, the journey of all our seniors. So thank you. Any final words to the Mr. Ghosh? Any of you would like to share? Dr. Samar, you want to start? Anything?
Yeah, Peram, I missed the name of Mr. K.K. De. I must also thank Mr. K.K. De for sharing his experience with
Sure.
Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. I'm
What was the problem?
that I forgot.
No, what was the problem, Peram? To cause that KKD's speech? Was there any problem?
No, there was
KKD's video?
Yeah, it's all
No
right.
problem. No problem, Dada. No problem.
It's all right.
Because KKD is watching.
No,
It went well. It went well.
It went
Nothing,
well.
no
Okay,
problem.
go on. Any Dr.
Oh, I could not see. I could not. Oh, it went well. Oh, I could not see his video.
Okay, I will send you the link. Okay, so we'll send you the link and you can see it.
Oh, Arthur.
Yeah. Okay.
It was casted. I mean, it was shown. Oh, okay, fine. Because I could not
say all of them.
Dr. Sinha, yeah, Dr. Sinha, do you like to any final remarks to the
Just for all of them, I want to share everything you are going to get in YouTube tomorrow. Tomorrow, Mr. Peram will be uploading the entire event in YouTube. So whoever has missed, you will get this in YouTube. Over to Sudipta sir.
Yes, it is a very nice. Hello.
Yes, go on. Yes.
It is a very nice experience for myself to introduce someone. So this is my first step. I'm very much excited to introduce Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. He's so much senior and so much experience. Myself
Yes.
and others.
Yes. That's nice. Nice. Okay. Professor Nando, sir. Any final remarks to? Yeah.
You are muted, sir. Muted.
Okay. Yes. Now you can talk. Yeah. Go on. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now. Yeah, Mr. Rao, this is a very great opportunity for me to interact with Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh, and I did not know his whole history. But anyway, as I heard him today, I could know that what are the different stages he has come across after educating in London, how he's come across through in India through different industries, and how he has come up to this level. This I did not, this history, total history I did not know. So this was an opportunity to learn about his life history. It's a very great opportunity. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to hear Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. We have heard his lectures, but I didn't know his life history actually. So he has nicely presented today. That's what actually I could come to know about him. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that is the purpose of this program. That a lot of people don't know their hard works and lessons they learn. So
the hard work behind actually people did not know actually. So now it's very clear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Professor Deepankar, sir. You need to open your your speaker. Yeah.
You are muted. Dada, you are muted.
So thank you, Peram and Samar, for taking this initiative. Okay. After a long time, I am seeing Professor Nanda. Okay.
Thank you. Because
a good platform. And I have learned how he answering, Mr. Ghosh answering the questions. Okay, that actually reflects his in-depth knowledge, in-depth practical knowledge, I should say, not theoretical, practical knowledge, how he was answering. So that is the platform created by Peram and Samar is assisting. This is a good platform, and today onwards, I will try to attend all events. Okay, because I am learning something from the experienced persons like Professor Mr. Ghosh, Professor Nando is there, Sudipta is there. So very good platform. Thank you, Samar and Peram. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. And also, I encourage all the students from Calcutta University, particularly the Polymer department.
One students groups.
Yes.
But I don't know how many participated. I will check it.
Yes.
But the problem is again, you are talking about the air pollution. The main pollution is the internet and the mobile phone. What I am during classes, they used to just put the jack of the microphone and they didn't attend the class. I am telling you. That is why during class I used to ask questions. Then I found that they are not there. So this is the main source of pollution. Don't take it otherwise.
Well, we get next time.
What I am observing in the next generation.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we have one very important person, Mr. Raman. You know who is Mr. Raman? 10 BC Sekhar's
Tansri.
BC Sekhar, Malaysia. He is one of the relative, this Raman Siva Sankaran.
Okay, he happened to be my grandfather. Dr. B.C. Sekhar was his maternal grandfather, Raman, my friend.
Okay.
B.C. Sekhar was the maternal grandfather. Am I right, Raman?
That's right. He was my mother's grandfather. Mother's not grandfather, so my mother's sister's husband. That means my maternal grandfather, correct. Say, my mother's father is equivalent to his sister's father also, no? His sister's husband, sorry, So he was my maternal grandfather, that's correct. Say, but he settled in Malaysia, and I'm settled now in India. And by the way, I wanted to thank Mr. Ghosh also. I wanted to include one small thing. He was a person who induced me to get my fellowship of the Indian Rubber Institute. You see, it was a great moment for me. I was working in Gold Seal at the time, when I contacted him, he said, Shankarana, have you applied? You should apply because you have enough background for that. I applied, and he came to the Renaissance Hotel, and personally he was there, and it was a great moment for me to see him there. He has inspired me so much. See, this is a tribute I am paying to Mr. Ghosh as my ending was this. And by the way, Mr. Param, Mr. V. Srinivasan also was associated with me. He is coming next. I would like to be present in the platform. I worked with him in Swastik Rubber, Pune, for a very short period. He was the director, technical director. When it was taken over by TBS Group from Chennai, I worked for a short time before I went to Indonesia. I was a research chemist there after coming back from London. Before I was associated with Dr. Mathan, also Ranjit Mathan was in Chennai in his polymer consultancy services. I'm very happy to be here today to meet all of you. And thanks to Ghosh, he has given me this opportunity. He called me last evening. He said, Shankar, you just come over. And I followed his advice. And Mr. Samar spoke to me all over the time. I've been interacting with him, and I never seen his face. I'm very happy to see you.
Actually, he is the glue, Dr. Samar.
Exactly.
I've
taken a lot of chemicals from him. Lot of chemicals. Whenever I want a chemical, specialty chemical, I'll talk to Dr. Samar in Karachi. And they will come to my doorstep. Thanks for your services, Dr. Samar.
Out of the old generation and young generation.
Your people from Mumbai, they used to come to my doorstep and deliver it, to so much enthusiasm, Very good.
Okay, Mr. Sridas, thank you, Mr. Ram.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right.
Thanks to Mr. Rao and Bandhavade sir.
Thank you.
But I used to a single word about the Priyabrata sir. Actually, he is extraordinary.
Sorry. Who?
Priyabrata sir is extraordinary people.
You're rightly said.
Personally, I
get
a lot of support from him. Every day I discuss with him if I feel any problem regarding the processing and regarding the compound designing. Actually, our product is mainly metal bonded product for the Indian Railway, which is very tough to achieve.
Yes.
So I take a lot of support from Priyabrata sir.
Excellent. See, it's just like as I was telling, if a student, he has prepared well for his exams, he's also doing well in his studies. The last thing, he has to go to the temple and pray to God or break a coconut to Lord Vinayaga. Then he gets the confidence to do the exam. That is how I used to feel. Even I'm well prepared to go for my consultancy and do my work, I will call Ghosh and ask him, what I am doing will be correct, and he has to give me the assertions, or he will say, do it like that. Instead of that, something he will add to that, It is really great that I've been a friend of Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh. I always call him Ghosh. So here I'm calling him Mr. Priyabrata Ghosh anyway. He's a great friend of mine. And now I'm meeting all of you. I'm sure that we are going to be friends for time to come. Thank you.
Thank you all. Mr. Ghosh, one more time. Thank you very much. You are an extraordinary person. I take the word from Okay.
Sridas is a very younger brother.
So actually, he's not my only a teacher. He is my philosopher, guide, and everything.
Super. Okay, guys, that's the end of this program. I have to end here. Okay, thank you all. Bye bye for now. Okay, we catch up again. Thank you all once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Professor Nando.